see it.
Welcome to Kassidy's Nerd Box.
In this podcast, we delve into Kassidy's Nerd Box and see what TV show, film, comic, game, or random thing from history is currently obsessing her. Kassidy is a 12-year-old geek with a passion for nerding out on all things. I am Andy, her dad, and this is our podcast. What's in your box today, Cass?
Today we are talking about Riverdale and Archie Comics. Riverdale is a Netflix original series based on the Archie Comics. The comics weren't well known in England but were massive in America. It is as much of America's cultural identity as a Beano is to England. Archie Comics started nearly 80 years ago in 1939. It wasn't always called Archie Comics. It started off as MLJ magazines and mostly featured superhero characters. Archie's first appearance wasn't until 1941 in Pep Comics number 22. The youth of America loved Archie and he soon started appearing alongside the superhero on the front page of the magazine. That superhero being the Shield. Interesting fact about the Shield quickly. The Shield is the reason Marvel's Captain America has a round shield. When Captain America first appeared, he had a triangular one, but it was too similar to the shield used by MLJ's The Shield, so Marvel were forced to change Captain America's shield to the now iconic circular shield. It wasn't long before Archie's popularity so overshadowed the hero that he was given the full front page and the company changed its name to Archie Comics. In 2015, Archie Comics relaunched Archie for today's generation. It was so successful they had to do a second print of the comics to keep up with demand. The modern incarnation of Archie Comics has moved away slightly from the safe family-friendly tone of its past, including a zombie comic called Afterlife of Archie and the very bloody Archie vs Predator crossover. In 2017, Netflix released a TV adaptation of Archie called Riverdale, Riverdale being the name of the town where Archie lives. Dad, I made you watch the first 2 episodes of Riverdale yesterday. What did you think?
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be 4 annoying American teenagers sat in a cafe all day whinging about Archie being in love with too many women. And it was going to be boring. That's what I thought. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think it was well written. I think having Jughead narrate it, and he's a writer. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot better than I honestly thought it was going to be. Boring. It wasn't. It was good. Should we do some interesting facts?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I've got one. So, Jughead has a famous hat. He wears it for most of the TV show, apart from when he's in bed or naked. Which, by the way, a lot of nakedness in Riverdale. Is that why you like it? Because like all the naked men in it, all the women kissing it. No. Okay, so do you know what type of hat Jughead wears?
Yeah, it's a beanie.
It is. It's a woolen beanie that's been cut up around the edges to look like a crown. Originally, it was not a beanie, or it was. Something got lost in translation along the way. It's actually a fedora, also known as a whoopee cat. Cat? Also known as a whoopee cap, when worn the way Jughead wears it. Back in the 1920s, it was common in America for all men to wear hats. Teenagers and other people who think they're cool and unique would turn the fedoras inside out and cut the brim into a jagged edge. They would then personalise them with badges and pins and whatnot. They called it the beanie. The trend to do this got forgotten in history, but Jughead kept his on.
Jughead is so last century.
He probably is. What's you got a fact?
Yeah, so have you heard of the show Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah, you made me watch some of that, and it's terrible and boring, and I think aimed at teenage girls, and because I'm not a teenage girl, perhaps it wasn't my show. Okay. I wish I was a teenage girl. I'm glad I'm a 33-year-old man.
Okay.
Go on.
So, when I was watching it, I thought it was like the best show ever, and it pretty much is. Did you know Riverdale and Pretty Little Liars were shot on the same set?
No, I didn't know that.
So, when we were watching Riverdale yesterday, I noticed the school, Riverdale High, So when we were watching Riverdale yesterday, I noticed the school, Riverdale High, looked a lot like... I said lock like...
Okay. I'm keeping all of this in. Go on, do your fact. I want to know what it is.
So when we were watching Riverdale yesterday, I noticed the school, Riverdale High, looked a lot like Rosewood High from Pretty Little Liars. I googled it. Turns out I'm right. The shots from above the town are identical in both shows. Even the school looks like it was shot from the same angle.
Cool. I've got a fact about the show creator.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and pronounce his name. Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. Now, Roberto is the Chief Creative Officer at Archie Comics, and he's the guy who adapted Archie for television. But long before Roberto worked for Archie Comics, back in 2003, he wrote a play called Archie's Weird Fantasy, in which Archie comes out as gay. Archie Comics found out about the play and issued a cease and desist order threatening litigation, meaning they would sue them if they went ahead with the show. The show did happen a few days later, but under the name Weird Comic Book Fantasy, with the characters' names changed. In 2012, so 9 years later,
Yeah.
Roberto Aguirre Sacasa went to a book signing for Archie Meets Kiss. Kiss is a rock band. I don't know if you know who they are. Gene Simmons, long tongues and face makeup.
Yeah.
Where he met the current owner of Archie Comics, John Goldwater, and pitched the idea of an Archie Glee crossover. Goldwater loved the idea and made it happen. By 2014, Roberto was Chief Creative Officer at Archie Comics, having also pitched the Afterlife with Archie, the zombie version of the comic that happened. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. I've got another one.
Go on.
The actor who plays Archie, KJ Apa, his full name is Kennedy James Fitzgerald Apa, but he is known as KJ Apa, is from New Zealand and is half
Samoan.
His dad is a Mate chief of his village in Samoa. KJ has part of a sleeve tattoo to commemorate his father and his heritage, and would like to get his whole body tattooed in Polynesian and Samoan designs.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got one more.
Cool.
Do you remember a show, it might have been before you were born, but it was actually, because I remember watching it when I was a kid in the 90s, called Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yes, I've watched it before.
Oh, okay. Did you know that she is also an Archie Comics character?
Yes, I know everything.
Yes, you do. She's getting her very own spin-off show called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which I think we'll probably do a podcast about when it comes out.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yep, and she's from Greendale, which is a fictional town somewhere near to Riverdale.
Yeah.
The characters of Riverdale also go to Greendale at some point in the show.
Any more facts?
No, but I did hear a rumour though.
What's the rumour?
That they are going to make a Riverdale and zombie Riverdale.
A zombie Riverdale episode.
I heard
Spin-off. I heard they were going to do an entirely musical episode.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I can't remember where.
Facts? Any facts? Random facts of the day.
Just a random fact.
Yeah.
Just what connected to Riverdale, or just a complete?
Just a fact.
Yeah, I've got a fact.
Okay.
Did you know it's easier to drown a dolphin than it is to drown a sloth?
That just sounds ridiculous, actually.
So sloths can swim 3 times faster than they can move on land.
Wow.
Right? They can also hold their breath underwater for up to 40 minutes. 25 minutes longer than a dolphin.
Wow.
Sloths they're supposed to be in the water. They've got it wrong. They're up trees.
Well, okay.
How are we going to end the podcast?
Shall we just do a Shakespearian insult?
If you want to insult me with some Shakespeare, you're welcome to.
Okay. More of this conversation would infect my brain.
Okay.
Cool.
That's the end of our podcast.
You can follow us on Twitter at Kassidys Nerdbox. We also have a website, www.kassidysnerdbox.com.
Yep, and you can email us at kassidysnerdbox@gmail.com.
Until next time,
Bye.
Kassidy's Nerd Box.
Actually, before we go, if you go to iTunes and you like the podcast, do leave a 5-star review because it just helps, right? Right, Kassidy? Agreed?
Sure.
And subscribe. If you subscribe to the iTunes podcast, it will be automatically downloaded to your phone or your iTunes player every time we put a new episode up. We're hopefully going to do them weekly, but they take a lot of time to research and write, and we are busy people, but we're going to do our best. So, subscribe, write a review. You can find us probably everywhere you get podcasts. We're on SoundCloud. Just Google, or, you'll find us. Yeah, you're smart people. All right, bye.
Bye.